There's no such thing as a small game in college football. Even the annual showdowns against FCS roadkill. Because if you lose those games, they become big losses. But pull out the capital letters for Saturday's Mizzou-Kansas State Big 12 reunion game in Manhattan, Kansas. This one's big for the Tigers. Missouri Tigers, 1-0, at Kansas State Wildcats, 1-0, game time, TV channel, 11 a.m., ESPN2 Betting line, Kansas State by 7.5 because Mizzou can go 2-0 for just the second time in 7 years. In recent history, Week 2 has been ugly for Mizzou. And if not Week 2, then Week 1. Since the start of the 2016 season, MU's first-year AP. After Pinkel, the Tigers have dropped their first or second game every year except 2018. No coincidence here, but 2018 produced the best record in the post-Pinkel era, at 8-5. In 2016, the Tigers stumbled in Week 1 at West Virginia. In 2017, it was a Week 2 home loss to South Carolina. In 2019, a dreadful Week 1 loss at Wyoming. In 2020, the COVID-altered SEC-only season, the Tigers opened 0-2 with losses to Alabama and Tennessee. In 2021, a Week 2 trip to Kentucky stalled early season momentum. Along the same lines, early season swing games rarely seem to go the Tigers' way. In 2017, Mizzou was slight favorites over South Carolina and Purdue, and lost both at home. Last year, visits to Kentucky and Boston College were prime for the taking, and the Tigers lost both. Since the start of 2016, in the season's first games with single-digit point spreads one way or another, the Tigers are 3-5 with wins over Purdue, 2018, South Carolina, 2019, and Kentucky, 2020, and losses to Georgia, 2016, South Carolina, 2017, Purdue, 2017, Kentucky, 2021, and Boston College, 2021. None of the aforementioned defeats can ruin an entire season, but for a program still trying to restore credibility with a lost segment of its fan base and recapture the home field advantage at Memorial Stadium, these early season losses can squander any shred of off-season optimism. Which brings us back to Saturday in Manhattan. Kansas State is anywhere from a 7 to 8-5 point favorite. It's the kind of early season challenge but winnable swing game Mizzou fans know well by now. An upset Saturday puts the Tigers at 2-0 heading into next week's visit from Abilene Christian and all but certainly 3-0 heading to Auburn in 2 weeks. Now, that's what you call some September momentum. As for the Wildcats, erase a myth to debunk, Kansas State is unbeatable at home. In 4 years under coach Chris Klieman, K-State is just 11-8 in Manhattan, just 9-8 against FBS teams at home, and just 7-7 against Power 5 teams at home. As a home favorite under Klieman, the Wildcats are 5-5 against the spread. Historically, though, when favored at home by a touchdown or more, the Cats are nearly unbeatable over the last decade. Since the start of the 2013 season, K-State is 28-2 when favored at home by 7 or more, with both losses coming in 2019 to Arkansas State and West Virginia. Most of those games have been close. K-State is just 16-14 against the spread in those 30 games, and 4-3 ATS under Klieman. Since the turn of the century, K-State is 4-6 against SEC teams, 6-4 ATS, with 3 of the wins coming in bowl games. Mizzou hasn't had much success on the road under Eli Drinkwitz, and overall as a program has lost 6 straight games as a road underdog, dating back to the 2018 upset at Florida. The Tigers are 1-4 against the spread as road underdogs under Drinkwitz, with the lone cover coming last year at Georgia. On Saturday, we learn if what appeared to be a much improved Mizzou run defense against Louisiana Tech can corral one of the country's best running backs in Deuce Vaughn. We'll learn if Brady Cook can keep his composure in front of a hostile road crowd in his first career start on an opponent's home field. We'll learn if the Tigers have answers for K-State's unique 3-3-5 defense and All-American edge rusher Felix Anudike-Uzomah. Count on the Wildcats making at least one game-changing play on special teams. The Tigers don't need a perfect game to escape Manhattan with a victory, but turnovers, penalties and defensive breakdowns could be lethal against a K-State team that rarely commits self-inflicted mistakes. Matters pick, Mizzou will keep things competitive for 4 quarters, but until the Tigers win one of those early season swing games on the road, it's hard to forecast that kind of performance. They'll be good enough to cover but not to win. Kansas State 27, Mizzou 21.